The Honorable the Examiners, good morning. First of all, let me introduce my name is Rita Juliana. In this beautiful morning, I would like to thanks to the opportunity that has given to me to present my proposal with the title is Analysis Students' Difficulty in Speaking English at the Second Grade of SMP 5 Tangketada. Well, the chapter 1 is Introduction, Background of the Research. The first is in Indonesian English is a foreign language. And the second is in learning English there are four basic skills of language that students should be mastered. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the third is as stated by Hinkle 2005, speaking skill is considered as hard skill to master the complex one because it's skill that allows the speaker to convey his or her idea to thoughtful and convincing manner. And the fourth is complexity of speaking had been found by several research. The next is according to Fanny Ure 1996 City in Megawati 2017 state the four problems that students face in speaking English. The first is inhibition, the second is nothing to say, and the third is low or uniform participation, and the fourth is mother tongue use. Well, the next is problem of the research. The first is what are students' difficulty in speaking English at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada. And the second is what the strategy do the student use to overcome their difficulty in speaking English at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada. The next is problem of the research. The next is objective of the research. The first is to know the students' difficulty at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada. And the second is to describe what the strategy do the student use to overcome their difficulty in speaking English at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada. And significance of the research. The first is theoretically and the second is practically. And the next is scope of the research. The first is this research focused on the analysis of the students' difficulty in speaking English at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada based on Penny Ure theory 1996. And the second is analysis of students' strategy the students use to overcome their difficulty in speaking English at the second grade of SMP 5 Tengketada based on secondary all the theory 2015. Well, definition of key terms of the research. The first is analysis in activity to look for pattern other than the analysis is a way of thinking related something to determine parts, relationship between parts and a system with the world, according to Sugiono 2014. And the second is speaking skill is considered as hard skill to master, the most complex one, because this skill is allowed speaker to convey his or idea in thoughtful, convincing manner, according to Hinkle 2005. And the third is students' difficulty in speaking. There are four problems of student face in speaking English. There are inhibition, nothing to say, low or uniform participation, and mother tongue use. This problem as the main problem that makes students difficult to speak their target language, according to Penny Ure 2096. Well, the chapter 2, literature review. The reviews related research. The first is preview research was conducted by Swery 2014. A study of students' problems in learning English is speaking at the second grade of SMP Negeri 1 Talaga. And the second is preview research was conducted by Uni 2018, an analysis of students' speaking problems at the fourth semester of English study programs of at 19 November University. And review of speaking. Speaking is one of language basic reading, writing, listening, and in English language. And teaching speaking is an important part of second language learning. And the next is language component of speaking. Language component of speaking is very important for students to be able to for their speaking English. There are five components. There are five components of speaking that important in speaking role. There are pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. And the next is the element of speaking. There are two elements of speaking. The first is language features, and the second is mental or social processing. And the next is characteristic of a successful speaking activity. According to UR, 1991, the characteristic of successful speaking activity are learners talk a lot, participation is even, motivation is high, and language is often acceptable level. And the next is English speaking difficulties. Talking about difficulty of problems, Penny Ear, 1996, City in Megawati, 2017, expressed power problems with speaking activity, namely inhibition, nothing to say, low or uniform participation, and mother tongue use. And the next is strategy to solve speaking difficulties. Based on Skandari et al. 2015, what found out some strategy and advantages in speaking to Iranian, English for language, and English for Asian language. Take the advantages of strategy in speaking, such as English Speaking Circle or ESC, Reading Club for increased vocabulary, flow up activity, and fun oral activities. The next is Chapter 3, Method of the Research. Design of the research is descriptive qualitative design, and setting of the research is this research will conduct of SMP at the SMP 5 Tangketada. It's located at Palawai District, Kolaka, Regency, and Sulawesi Tenggara Province. And participation of the research. The participant of the research are students at 7 class of SMP 5 Tangketada. Is consist 20 of students. An instrument of the research is questionnaires and interview. And the next is technique of collecting data. In this research, collecting the data will the questionnaire and interview. And the next is the technique of analyzing data. The first is questionnaire. To analyze the data obtained through the questionnaire, the result we use central tendency measure. We show the quantity of mean, median, and mode. And the second is interview. After the research get result of analyzing questionnaire, the research will analyzing interview using analyzing qualitative data, data reduction, and data display and conclusion by Miles and Huberman 2009. The next is research steps. These research are by some products. The research will conduct in order to find the student speaking difficulties. The first is selecting a problem. The second is review literature on problems, and the third is designing of the research, and the fourth is collecting the data, and the fifth is analyzing the data, and the sixth is reporting result. Well, the honorable examiners, I have presented all my content, my proposal. That's all about my presentation. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your nice attention, and I will ability answer the question, and I hope I get answer question well. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.